Blog Talk Radio, the world's largest online radio network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Be Beautifully Informed with the Paula's Choice Research Team. It is Tuesday night, it's March 27th already. Where has March gone? We are coming up on April. We've got some exciting shows planned for April. Tonight, however, we are privileged to have a special guest on the line to talk all about lash extensions. And then the research team here is going to be talking about some of our favorite mascaras. It's an entire show devoted to eyelashes. So if you have any beauty questions, but specifically if you wanted to ask us about any mascara issues you've had, questions about the various lash growth products that are on the market, prescription products, what you've used that's worked and what hasn't, and we'll help you figure out why that might be. Give us a call at 347-426-3783. We'll be getting to caller questions at about the halfway point of the show. It is 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Let me introduce my two team members, Desiree Stordahl. Hi, Desiree.
Hello, hello.
Desiree has had a very long day, and she is ever the trooper joining us for the show tonight. She had to get up very early in the morning to help Paula. Paula made several television appearances today via what's called a satellite tour, and Desiree was there to help make sure everything went smoothly, and Desiree, from what I heard, it did go well. Yes?
It went great. It was interesting because we pitched a few different topics to the different TV stations, and what really seemed to get picked up by the most of them was spring clean your beauty routine. So all about, you could throw a mascara away after 3 months. I mean, really, if you haven't used up a mascara by 3 months, it's goopy, it's dried out, it's bad anyways. But the tip that really shocked everyone was about why you don't need jar packaging and actually why jar packaging is bad. You should hear the reporters when Paula tells them this. It's like you can tell they feel like they've been duped by the cosmetics industry because they've been buying these expensive jar packaging eye creams or moisturizers or whatever it may be. So no matter how much you and I and Dana and our fans have heard that, there's still so many people who don't know about jar packaging and why it's not good, because all those great ingredients like antioxidants and retinol break down in the presence of air and light.
They do. And, sometimes, especially working with all of the content that we produce, I think we'd all agree that sometimes we feel like we sound like a broken record. We're repeating the same thing over and over and over again. And sometimes from the perspective of a writer, that can get a little bit monotonous. But what our job is to make sure that information gets out there, and it gets out there in an informative, entertaining way that we always back up with published research. We're not coming to any of these conclusions just because we personally don't like jar packaging or we don't like lavender oil or whatever it is that we're telling you to avoid. And, of course, we always tell you what is good and what you should be using, what you can look to, what does work. But not wanting to get too off topic there, Desiree, I'm glad that it went well, and that the reporter's reaction to the jar packaging issue, that's surprising. I can kind of picture them there just sort of being slack-jawed and thinking to what they have on their counter at home.
Right.
All right. Moving on to a couple other things, we have a bit of news, and it's definitely sad news for the Paula's Choice research team. But our coworker Dana Burnett is moving on. She has been offered a new job that is more focused in an area that she wants to specialize in, and we wish her well. Hi, Dana.
Hi guys. I know it's a bummer. I'm sorry. This was a hard decision, and I'm gonna miss it all. It's gonna be tough.
We're gonna miss you too.
Yeah, it is. We will miss you. It is sad. Dana has been an integral part of the team for almost 3 years, and she's worked on the 8th edition of Don't Go to the Cosmetics Counter Without Me. She has worked, we're not done yet, but we're in the middle of working on the 9th edition of Don't Go to the Cosmetics Counter Without Me. That will be out this fall. Dana contributed to our blog. She has written articles. She has expanded her knowledge of cosmetic ingredients and all things related to skincare and makeup exponentially in the time she's been here. And in many ways, she functioned as my right-hand person, and we have some big shoes to fill. So this will be Dana's final radio show with us. We will get back to being a two-person team starting next week, and maybe bringing in some special guest rotating Paula's Choice staffers every now and then. But we'll see how that goes.
Well, thanks for the kind words, and you guys are gonna do great. I'll tune in, and I'll call from time to time.
Yeah, you'll have to call it.
And I know that you'll be successful in your new venture. So I'm happy for you. I don't want to lose you, but I'm happy for you. So as you mentioned earlier, it's bittersweet. Dana and Desiree had their makeup done at a cosmetic counter, and Kimberly, we're going to get to you. We have some great questions for you about lash extensions, but because this is Dana's last show, I had to have her share this one last experience that she had at the Dior counter this week.
Oh Lordy, the Dior counter. So Desiree and I went. We booked ourselves some makeovers, and we were sitting side by side, and we were having our makeup done. And when you get a makeover, they strip your face of everything you have on, and they start with all the skincare, moving on through all the way down to the eyelashes. They do everything, and as they're doing that, they ask you questions like, what is your overall style, and what kind of products do you use? And I'm always reluctant to say that I use Paula's Choice because I feel like it starts to clue them in that maybe I am part of the Paula's Choice research team. This is a small metro area. All of the cosmetic counters know we're in the area, and I just don't want to raise any more flags than I need to. So,
right, we've all done it.
Yeah, so, I'm not always forthcoming about why I'm there, and it's not because I have anything to hide. It's just not the reason that I'm there. So anyways, so she's asking me what kind of products I use, and I say, I use a Clinique cleanser, I use a Jason toner, and I just start listing all of these brands that I use. And she said, "Oh my, you really get around." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever works." So fast forward 10, 15 minutes into the makeover, and she pulls out the very sleek red bottle of the One Essential Serum. And she pumps a little bit out, and she starts to spread it on my face. And she goes, "This is the only product that I know of that you can use with other brands of skincare." And I just, it took everything to bite my tongue, because that is not true. That is just not true. You can use any skincare product with a product from another brand. It is a sales pitch, and it was based solely on me having told her that I use products from other brands. And I feel very empowered that I have that information, that I know that I'm being sold. But, it's potentially not her fault. She probably learned this in her training. But it definitely made me see through the sales pitch, and it was a disappointment. Not that I expect a lot more than that from Dior. Dior is definitely one of those brands that they hit you with the hard sell. But we have an article on Cosmetics Cop that covers this extensively. It is a myth. You can absolutely mix and match your skincare products based on your skin type and your skin concern, not on the brand. End rant.
All right, and on that note, let's get to our special guest. Her name is Kimberly Love. Hello, Kimberly. Are you there?
Kimberly.
Oh. Hi, Dana.
Hello. Kimberly is a lash artist and expert, and she is the owner of a lash and skin studio. Kimberly, tell us a little bit about Lash with Love. I know you just opened it. You've been working on lashes for quite some time. So give us a little bit of your background, because what you do with lashes is extraordinary.
It is extraordinary. Basically, what we have here at Lash with Love is a lash and skin and wax boutique studio. So our main focus are eyelashes. We also do some waxing and facial skincare as well, but again, main focus is lashes. And my background is that I was trained with extreme lashes. There's quite a few out there now.
went through their training, went and got more training and became certified through them as well. And we just opened up our own shop just within the last couple months.
Awesome. So, and this is located in Bellevue, Washington. So for our local listeners, also I wanted to mention that one of Kimberly's most famous clients is none other than Paula herself. Dana actually got in touch with Kimberly and had lash extensions done, and she was sporting them around the office, and Paula saw them and just said, "What have you done to your lashes? They're gorgeous. They just look so perfect. And what mascara are you using?" And then Dana's reply was, "I'm not wearing mascara. I found this woman who is a lash pro, and I had lash extensions done."
And Kimberly, you should hear how Paula talks and rants and raves about her lashes. Actually, she was talking about them on the satellite tour today to a few of the reporters who noticed how long her lashes were. So you do an excellent job.
That's great, because when Paula first came in, she really wasn't sold on the idea. She did it for an occasion. It wasn't supposed to be an ongoing thing. She let me know, but she was addicted. She's been a faithful client ever since.
She was actually just mentioning today when she goes to Korea, she's going to have to figure out how to take care of her lashes because she's going to be gone for so long. And that actually brings me to a good question for you. How do you handle using and removing the lash extensions when you're wearing mascara and eyeshadow? What's the best tips for that?
The best tips for that is I would get a spoolie, kind of like a mascara wand. Mm-hmm. And you want to make sure you get a makeup remover that's oil-free, very important. And most lash salons will carry a product that is made to go with their lashes. And you'll just spray a little bit of that on your spoolie and kind of work that into your lashes and get it off that way. And then you can also, on top of that, use what I like to have my clients use, their lip gloss applicators. And they dip that in the solution as well. And then they can rub those very gently, because you don't want to get Q-tips. You don't want to get anything that's fibrous. So you wouldn't want to use the Q-tips or the cotton rounds.
Right, because those little fuzzies would kind of rub off into the lashes. Is that why?
That's why. Correct.
Okay.
I actually found that using mascara with the extensions, it was just kind of overkill. It really took something away from how natural they look. And I thought that adding mascara really kind of undermined the artistry and the beauty of the extensions.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the whole point of getting lash extensions, is so that you don't have to wear mascara. You just wake up pretty. You just look done. Your eyes are open. However, there are some gals that they want that more modest look during the day, but maybe they have an occasion in the evening, or I have a client who is a burlesque dancer. So she goes for extra mascara in the evening on her lashes so they really pop up on stage.
Right, and Kimberly, same for Paula with her media appearances. She has to emphasize everything. So I know that's an issue for her. But that's a good tip about using the lip gloss applicator.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to share that with her if she doesn't already know that.
I think she does.
Well, it never hurts to remind her.
Right.
Brian, did you have something you were going to say? A question?
Oh, I was. I just wanted to see if you're ready for the first official question for Kimberly.
I'm ready.
Okay, Kimberly is ready. Desiree, are you ready?
Sure. So, Kimberly, do you have an ideal candidate for lash extensions? Like, if somebody is aging, and as they're aging, their lashes are becoming more sparse, are they going to be able to do lash extensions?
Absolutely. As long as they have lashes to attach to, we're going to be able to attach them. Now, unfortunately, as we get older, we grow hair where we don't want to, and we lose hair where we really want to keep it.
Oh, that's true. We're all just sort of like, yep, that's true.
Yep. So, as long as our lashes there, we can attach. Now, we do get I get some gals that have a little bit of unrealistic expectations when they come in. They want, they bring me in a picture of Kim Kardashian.
Oh, Lord.
And we can't always do that. And I don't know that would really be the right look for them. And then, after seeing it, they might not like that. But again, it's their choice. Now, the problem with that is the health of the lashes is the most important thing at the end of the day. So if we were to attach something that was too long or too heavy to that lash, it's going to make that lash shed much quicker than it should be. And it's kind of like waxing the legs. When you pull it out by its root, it grows back slower and finer. And we don't want that. So we really have to look at that person's lash and really accommodate their lash. So if they did want to do something that was a little longer, a little thicker, what I would suggest to them is talk to their doctor about using Latisse or any other lash serum that they preferred because you can use those with lash extensions and it does work.
Okay.
So I would say that most women are candidates as long as they have their lashes.
Okay. Kimberly, pretending that we're sitting down and having a consultation, can you give me a few of the chief pros and cons of getting lash extensions?
The pros and the cons. Yes, I can. Well, one of the biggest pros is just how you feel immediately. As soon as my gals get off the bed, they're just wowed, and Dana can speak to that.
It's true.
You just feel pretty,
and this is wowed with no other makeup on, correct?
With no other makeup on. I usually ask my clients to come in without any makeup.
Okay.
I've had clients forget to put their makeup on in the morning because they just don't feel like they need it. When they get to work, they realize, oh, shoot, I don't even have lipstick on. That's one.
Sorry, I didn't mean to overtalk you. I was going to say Paula actually went through a phase when she first got her extensions in which she wore no makeup whatsoever, and for this very same reason, she just felt so beautiful with the lashes alone. And
I remember that.
Was.
Yeah. So yeah, they just make the eyes bigger. It just adds so much. And when they're properly put on, they actually kind of save the lashes. You think about all the stress we put our lashes through with eyelash curlers and putting on the mascara, it kind of breaks down those lashes. So doing it this way actually kind of saves the lash a little bit.
I think what happens in a lot of situations is that, we're hurried, we're pressed for time, and so when it comes to putting on and removing mascara, we're simply not as gentle as we should be.
Exactly.
I mean, or maybe, we're having issues with mascara flaking or smearing, or we have the oily eyelids, so we think, well, I'm just going to use a waterproof formula. And no question, compared to a non-waterproof formula, those waterproof formulas, they are hard on lashes. The ingredients
that
to
lashes,
make them,
lash suicide.
And so we review. Well, I hate trying waterproof mascaras. All of us, the only product that we actually routinely try, because there's just no other way to comment on it, is mascaras. And I hate doing the waterproof formulas because they're typically such a chore to get off.
Yeah.
And I hate the way that they make the lashes feel. It's almost like they get crunchy and, your eyes get dry. And so we're not big fans of waterproof mascaras for daily use, but, of course, we review them because they're out there, and there are occasions when they are appropriate.
Right.
So Kimberly,
they're not appropriate when wearing lash extensions, though. That's the one thing that is very important at all. You want to make sure that you're using a non-waterproof or a waterproof mascara.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Did I say that right? You want to make sure that you're not wearing a waterproof mascara. It's very bad for the lashes.
Okay, so with lash extensions on, if you are going to use mascara, and you probably won't need to, stick with a non-waterproof mascara. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So what are a few drawbacks? Why shouldn't somebody have lash extensions done?
Well, there's really not too many reasons. I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons. Someone who's maybe like an eye rubber, if they're a picker, people don't even realize they're doing this, but they are constantly touching their face. Mm-hmm. That might not be a good candidate. That could be a con because that's going to make their lashes kind of wear down a little quicker. It's a commitment. It's not cheap, and it's well worth the price. However, there is a price tag attached to it.
Right.
And the upkeep is you come in about every 3 weeks to get your fills. So some people find that to be a con. However, on the flip side of that is most of my clients, that's their downtime.
Right.
That's their downtime. They come in, they lay down, they fall asleep. When first time Paula came in, she laid down on the bed, and I told her, I said, well, I've been told this is the best nap in Seattle. And she said, no, people don't sleep through this. I said, well, yeah, most people do. She was out like a baby within 10, 15 minutes. I'm not kidding you.
So that kind of gives us an idea of what to expect during the procedure. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do exactly? Like, how do you attach the eyelashes? Do you have to shut their eyes? What do you do?
I do. First, what I do is I put down an eye pad down on their lower lashes, because when we close our eyes, our bottom lashes and our top lashes mesh together. So I want to make sure that those bottom lashes are down and nowhere near where we're putting the glue, because we don't want to glue their eye closed. Not fun. And So then what I do is I prep the lashes and I isolate each lash. So what I'm doing is I'm taking one single lash, synthetic lash, and attaching it to one natural lash with a medical grade glue. And that's why it's so time consuming, especially the first procedure. The full set takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to do.
And how about the touch-ups or the refills?
The touch-ups are about every 3 weeks, and those are only about 45 minutes. And what we're doing at that time is our lashes naturally shed just like the hair on our head. So I'm going in and I'm just filling in those new lashes that have come in and maybe popping off some of the old synthetic lashes that may have grown out.
Got it. So it doesn't sound like too hard of a procedure for the person laying down and just resting their eyes. Kind of sounds relaxing, actually.
No, I have clients, I swear, they come in just to get away from their kids. So
Guilty.
Oh, my gosh. So, Kimberly, how would what other than people who know about you and your business and your skill set, people who, for our listeners who aren't in the Seattle metropolitan area, what's the best way to go about finding the right person for this job? What credentials would I look for, or do you, how do people find you? Is it more word of mouth, and then?
A lot of it is word of mouth. However, I'm so glad you asked this question, because right now there aren't a lot of rules and regulations around eyelash extensions. Yes, you have to be an esthetician. However, there's not a lot of other regulations around it. So It's really important to make sure that whoever you are seeing, that they're certified. Now, extreme lashes, you have to go through quite a bit of training with them. So you can, go through extreme lashes. There's other reputable lash companies out there. Check with them. One of the main things is ask your provider where were you trained? How long have you been doing it? Don't be afraid to ask questions. They should be really proud of their training and would probably appreciate being asked. Look for their certification, that type of thing.
So if you're talking to a lash expert or so-called lash expert, and you're asking them these questions, and they're sort of being evasive, or they're maybe acting a bit defensive that you even brought this up, probably sounds like someone that you shouldn't trust with your eyes closed.
Definitely. I mean, right now, I do see it changing. I do see that there's going to be a lot more rules and regulations. Right now, Texas just implemented a law around it. You have to have so many hours of training. And I think that, a lot of other states are going to be following suit here pretty soon.
Good. Okay.
So, Kimberly, I have a question, because I have naturally blonde lashes. So when you're attaching the extensions, would you be able to see any sort of line of separation, or where exactly are they being attached? Are they at the base? Are they at the top?
They're about 1 millimeter away from your lash line, and they never touch your skin. They're always directly on the lash. Mm-hmm. So even with our blondies, we have readers on, and we have a nice light in your face. So we're pretty good about being able to see the lash. Now, we do have some situations where we have people with very white hair, almost translucent, in which case we would recommend that they come in maybe a couple days ahead of time, and we just do a lash tint on them.
Mhm.
Which is nice too, because if you have such light lashes, then your bottom lashes are tinted as well, because just like you don't want to wear mascara on your top lashes with the extensions, you don't have to wear it on your bottom either.
Right.
So, Kimberly, speaking of lash color, do you offer a range of shades of the lashes, or do they all come in black?
Well, most of our clients do like black. However, I do have one gentleman who we put blue and purple on him, and they look amazing.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured that black would be the default, but I was just like, what if somebody like a redhead or somebody with lighter hair but still darker lashes who maybe would ordinarily
like an auburn, right?
Either an auburn or a soft brown.
Yes, there are.
Okay.
I mean, they come in all colors of the rainbow.
Cool.
And I was wondering, are the lashes synthetic or are they natural hair? What are they made out of?
They're made out of synthetic, like polyester material, and they're very lightweight. There are mink lashes out there, and I think that's more of a personal preference. I prefer not to put animals on people's eyes. There's just too many allergies, too many things that, make me personally uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So I choose not to do that, but you can. There are mink lashes out there.
Okay. Desiree, you were going to ask Kimberly about Latisse?
She actually already mentioned that you can use it along with the lash extension, so I think we're good to go on that.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So, Kimberly, other than we discussed that there's a time commitment, about an hour and a half to 2 hours for the first session, and then the fills last, what was it, maybe from 30 to 45 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As far as, is there anyone else who you would say, I can't do lash extensions on you? Like maybe, what if it's somebody, I know Paula is the exception because she'll do it no matter what because she's hooked, but like if somebody is traveling a lot and they simply can't keep up with the upkeep, I mean, do you ever just have to turn someone away?
I don't turn them away. What I do, and which is something I have done with Paula as well, is I try to help them find someone in their area that is certified wherever they're traveling to. Really, the only people that I have to turn away is, if someone has had radiation and they need to be about 6 months, or chemo, they need to be 6 months out of it. The lashes are just too fragile. So that would be a person that I would turn away. But they can come back. And we have a very light lash that we would put on them. And that's always a good day when I could do that.
Oh, I bet.
So, and another candidate, I get people in that will come in, maybe they saw someone who maybe wasn't trained to do lash extensions,
mm-hmm.
and it can be quite damaging, actually. And so what I have to do is usually just take the lashes off of them, and usually they want them put back on immediately. However, we can't do that. We need for those lashes to get healthy again and repair. So those are the cases that I've really had to turn someone away.
Do you find a lot of botched lash extensions from an amateur or maybe somebody who just ran into who got the wrong thing? I mean, does that happen often?
It happens all the time, unfortunately. Again, it's because there aren't really a lot of regulations out there. You can go to a beauty supply store and buy lash extensions with a DVD and do it if you're a licensed esthetician.
Wow, that's scary.
It is, and that's why I see things are changing. I see it on the horizon.
Well, it sounds like they absolutely need to. So,
yeah,
Kimberly,
absolutely.
before we say goodbye to you, I just wanted to ask one last thing. What are the 2 or 3 most important things that somebody who has lash extensions needs to remember once they get home? I mean, I know that mascara, we talked about that, being careful if you wear it when you remove it, but what are some other things that somebody, like 2 or 3 other things that we may not think of?
Well, probably the most important thing is that they do not get them wet for 24 hours. The glue has to cure.
Okay.
So we do not want to get them wet for 24 hours. If they can go 48 hours, even better. So that includes like hot yoga, tanning, steaming, anything sweating. You gals get the night off from working out that night because we really don't want to get them wet.
Okay.
Also, anything oily. You don't want to get anything oily on the eyelid. I say keep your eye cream. but keep it on the bottom because the oils, again, will break down that glue.
Okay. Do you typically do lash extensions on the bottom lash or the lower lash line as well?
I don't do that, and I have heard of it being done. That's not something that Extreme Lashes trains in. I don't think it's something that they really recommend. That can be a little tricky, a little dangerous because your eye will need to be open for that procedure.
Okay. So somebody who has blonde lashes and a blonde lower lash line would still need to use a bit of mascara to kind of make it look balanced.
Actually, no, they don't. I have very blonde hair, and I don't. I feel like if I was to put mascara on the bottom, I almost look too done.
Okay.
So I don't, and I know most of my blonde clients don't as well. I think they do, maybe if they're going out, but for an everyday look, no. The top lashes they do it. They do the job.
Just as a little tip, and I don't know if I ever mentioned this to you, Kim, but when I would be too far between my fill and things were getting a little sparse, I found that if I did put mascara on my bottom lashes, it kind of made them pop again. It kind of it kind of brought them back to life until I could come and see you again.
Right.
That was a little trick.
Yeah, and so it's not something you'd have to do every day, but again, there's going to be those times where maybe you'll want to.
All right. Well, Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are going to move on to talking about some of our favorite mascaras, and then we'll get to caller questions. But we have been chatting about lash extensions with Kimberly Love, who is the owner of Lashed with Love, a wax, lash, and skin studio located in Bellevue, Washington. And Kimberly, thank you so much. We really appreciate it, and I'm sure that Paula will be seeing you soon.
She will.
Before you go,
bye.
do you have a website? Do you have a website to tell fans about?
We do have a website. It's www.lashedwithlove.com.
Okay, great. Check it out,
All right,
everybody.
thanks.
Thanks, Kimberly.
Bye.
All right, ladies. Who wants to go first? We did promise in the preview for this show that we would talk about some of our favorite mascaras, and we decided to pick two each. And Dana, do you want to get us started?
I can get us started, but I didn't pick two. I picked one.
Okay.
I really like this new Lash Blast 24 Hour by CoverGirl. Now, I don't like the fact that they're telling you to wear your mascara for 24 hours. That's not a good idea. But if you have a long night, if you have a wedding, if you think I really need my mascara to go the distance, this is the mascara for you. It holds a curl beautifully. It does not budge. It's pretty much amazing, but it is not an everyday mascara because you don't want to put your lashes through this kind of a mascara every day. It's an occasion mascara. Now, that being said, when you do wear it, I would recommend using Paula's Choice Gentle Touch Eye Makeup Remover, which really does cut through even the most tenacious waterproof mascaras. I mean, it really, really does the job. So between those two products, if I've got something to go do and I need my mascara to last, that's what I use.
Actually, David, you recommended this one to me when I was leaving for my trip to Puerto Rico, so I brought it with me, and yes, it did hold up through. I was swimming in the ocean, being outside all day. It held up all day long, which is pretty amazing to be put through those kind of conditions.
It is amazing, and for $9. I mean, it's really a great mascara.
Very budget-friendly. So I also have a couple budget-friendly options. One is from L'Oreal, and it's the Telescopic Explosion Mascara. And as we're going through and updating brands for Don't Go to the Cosmetics Counter Without Me, the 9th edition, I came across the review for this mascara and thought it sounded interesting, so I went out and bought it. And sure enough, it's a great mascara if you want to add some drama. So it's got an unusual brush. The wand is more like a spherical, ball-shaped, spiky mascara wand.
It looks like a torture device.
It sounds kind of torturous, but it delivers really good thickness, and I'm just loving it, especially if I'm going to go out for the night or something like that. It's a great mascara, and I kind of like the shape of it. It helps me to reach some of those outer corner lashes that I sometimes have trouble with the oversized mascara wands that are just in that flat horizontal shape. So I'm liking that one a lot right now. And also our Paula's Choice Illicit Lash Maximum Impact Mascara which is like $11, $10.95 actually. And I love the intensity of this mascara. It deposits a really good amount of mascara at the base, but as you're stroking it through, it kind of gives you more of a defined look as you go up through the lashes. So it's got a dark, dark, inky black color to it that gives you those really defined, dramatic lashes. And I think a lot of ladies will love that. I don't know if I mentioned the price point on the telescopic mascara. It's also right around the $10 mark. So both of these are really great mascaras that I would put up to test against any department store mascara.
Yeah, and Desiree, there's L'Oreal, because they're L'Oreal and they have a gazillion mascaras like their sister brand Maybelline, there's more than one telescopic mascara. So for our listeners, be sure to check. You can just go to beautypedia.com and do a search for telescopic, and you'll see the various options. You can check how we rated them and make sure that when you're going out to the store, if this is one that you want to try, that you are finding the right one. And, of course, when you're in the store, if you have a smartphone, iPhone, Android-equipped mobile phone, you can get the Beautypedia site on your mobile device and check out the review right there in the store.
Good tip.
So I came up with a couple just to round this out, and then we're going to get to our first caller. One of them is a bit on the pricier side. It's from Clinique. It's their Lash Doubling Mascara, and it's around $15, which isn't too terrible. I mean, at the department store, you could spend upwards of $40 for a mascara. What I like about this one is that it has a great sized brush. It's not too big. It's not too small. And the marriage of the brush and the formula, which is essential for any good mascara, with this mascara, you get a great balance of everything. So if you're someone who thinks, well, I want length, but I also want some thickness, but I don't want it to look necessarily overdone, but I still want my eyes to look made up, I want to emphasize my lashes, this mascara is basically the jack of all trades. It doesn't do any one thing brilliantly. It just does everything that you should expect from a good mascara equally well. The other one that I really like, it's been a long-time favorite, especially back in the days when I was doing more wedding makeup, because as a makeup artist, one of the trickiest things to do is apply mascara on another person. I don't care how talented you are, it's just really hard to get the same deposit, unless maybe you're using a separate brush, which can be incredibly time-consuming, but you just can't do as good of a job as the person themselves can do without fear that they're going to blink and get mascara all over the place. One that I love, though, for this purpose, because it has a super tiny brush, is Maybelline's Lash Discovery Mascara. Costs around $7 at the drugstore. They have a waterproof version as well that is equally impressive for those times when you want a waterproof formula. And the tiny brush may make you think, gosh, it's just going to take me forever to cover all my lashes. It doesn't. It really packs a wall up and makes lashes thick at the base and long. And the tiny brush allows you to easily reach every lash. So if you have small eyes, if you have deep-set eyes where, your brow bone is actually really close to your lashes and you're worried about getting mascara underneath the brow, this mascara's brush can be a godsend. So if you haven't checked it out yet, definitely give it a look.
I think I'm going to have to look at that one. So when you say tiny, is it both short and thin, or what do you mean by tiny?
It is short and thin. So I would say lengthwise, it is about half of the length and about a quarter of the diameter of most mascara wands.
Okay.
So, for example, you can get really close to those lashes at the tear duct and get right to the base of the lashes and just pull it straight through without feeling like you're going to poke yourself in the eye, because the closer you get to the tear duct, the more your instinct to blink kicks in. And it really allows you to be nimble. And as I mentioned, I became quite fond of this when I had to put mascara on a lot of other people, because I found that I could get through it much faster, and they really liked the results.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a ton of different brush styles out there, and obviously that one isn't going to be to everyone's taste. It's worked for me. I like what it does. The Clinique Lash Doubling one is great. The others that you two mentioned are all worth checking out. People have different preferences and different expectations from mascara, which is precisely why there are so many permutations of brushes there aren't so many permutations of formulas because there's only so many ingredients that are A, safe for use on the eye, and B, capable of producing the results you want from a mascara. You can't just throw any old ingredient in there and expect it to adhere to the lashes and not become a globby, flaky, smeary mess.
It's true.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we've got some callers here. Everyone just wants to talk about mascara. They're called to the right show. We've got Wendy from California. Wendy, you're live on the air.
Oh, hi. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Hey, Wendy, what can we help you with tonight?
Yes, hi, Brian. Oh, I'm so excited to talk to you, all of you, tonight. My concern is, I cannot find a mascara that seems to lengthen. I have tried just about everything. Drugstore, I have tried department store mascaras. But what I'm going through is I'm starting to find that that I'm aging, my lashes are getting more sparse, and they tend to be drying up a little bit more. But I'm also having trouble with the mascara formulations not adhering and pulling out the, doing what they say on the tube. Oh, we will extend the lashes, blah blah blah. I just don't, I've wasted so much money, and I'm just like, I think I'll just have them dyed and leave them alone because I don't know what else to do. And I thought, well, I should call in. I didn't know. I thought your show was going to be on something else tonight, and then I thought, well, gee, I have a great question for this because this has been bothering me for so long, and I'm like, I'd like to get to the bottom of it.
This is definitely, yeah, it's definitely apropos for the show. Desiree, I have a couple of ideas for Wendy, but did you have anything that came to mind?
Well, one thing to keep in mind, and I'm not coming down on you, Wendy. I know exactly where you're coming from, but also keep in mind that we have to keep realistic expectations. So what you see in mascara ads, they're all wearing false eyelashes. So even though a mascara says it can lengthen, it's never going to deliver results as good as you see in those ads. That being said, there are some great mascaras out there that can help lengthen. And when you went out and tried those different various mascaras, did you use Beautypedia to look up which ones we rated well and kind of filter by which ones say they lengthen? Did that help you at all?
Yes. Well, I followed the guidelines from Beautypedia. I use Beautypedia a lot, not just for that. I mean, all kinds of other types of cosmetics. But I did. I followed the guidelines through Beautypedia as well as, because I usually check with Paula first before I go out and buy any new cosmetic, and I'm so glad because she has saved me a lot of money over the years. And I don't know. I'm starting to think I have crazy lashes because, I have yet to find anything, and I've even gone to Sephora where I've bought the kit that has like 10 or 12 mascaras in it, and maybe one I sort of like, but it's not like I would buy it, again.
And would you consider going down like the Latisse route where it's a lash growth product, or is that not really an option for you?
I'm actually, I heard an ad, it's funny you mentioned that, but I actually got something, or wait a minute, I think I got it off of Beautypedia, but I had seen an ad first about Rapid Lash, and I thought I'm going to try that, so I they sell it at CVS over here, so I'm going to consider it.
I've actually used Rapid Lash, and it works great for me, so I'm a big proponent for that. Some people can have side effects with it, just like you can get side effects with Latisse, so, watch out and monitor for that. There can be a little bit of irritation at the lash base there, but my big tip for you if you're going to go that route is make sure you're consistent about it, and make sure you're getting absolutely all of your mascara off before you're putting it on, because if you have some mascara left at the base of your lash, it's kind of going to block where that product should go and not let it do its work as good as it should. But Brian, do you have any tips for her on actual mascaras that you can think of that she should try?
I can come up with a couple, yes. But what I think might be happening is that Wendy, you mentioned you're getting older. Well, we're all getting older.
I'm 58. I'm going to be 59 in May. I mean, there are some changes, so definitely, and I know Paula talks about them. I'm her age, and I mean, I'm going through the same things Paula's going through.
What stuck out to me earlier was that you mentioned that your lashes they are falling out more easily.
They seem to be, and I know that they have their cycle. You know, just like hair follicles on your head have a the growth cycle, the pattern. But I look at them and they just don't seem like they're more sparse.
Right.
Yes. There you go. That's a great word. Because I used to have really, I wouldn't say thick, but I had longer, darker lashes. And never had a problem with other mascaras until, last couple of years, I'd say.
And are you either done with or in the midst of menopause?
I'm done with it. I'm post.
Okay. So you're post. So. That can be another factor because with the decline in estrogen, that's right around the time that a lot of women start to experience what's known as female pattern baldness on the hair on their head.
Yes, I know that's true.
So it isn't unusual to sort of see some of that simultaneous thinning of the hair on your head along with the lashes. Some women report that they start losing eyebrow hair. And by the way, just as an aside for our listeners, products like Latisse and Rapid Lash that have those prostaglandin analogs that stimulate hair growth, they can absolutely be used on your brows as well. So if you're experiencing sparse brows, patchy brows, but Wendy, let's leave you with this. I'll give you a couple of mascara recommendations, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to check in with your physician and or your ophthalmologist. You can ask your ophthalmologist about this at your next eye exam, because we all should start having eye exams. The older we get, the more often you should have them to make sure that your vision is being corrected the correct way as needed. But they can take a close-up look at your lashes and see what's going on, whether you may have the loss and the fragility might be due to some hormonal shifts that can be adjusted, or whether it may be due to some type of buildup or other skin issue that is somehow affecting the lash follicle. So those are both options that you can discuss with your eye doctor and with your physician or dermatologist. And then in terms of mascaras, one of the ones that I really like from Lancome is their Luxtreme Instant Extensions Lengthening Mascara. And then there's one from a brand that is, it's almost ridiculous how inexpensive it is. It's from the NYC or New York Color brand, and it's called Skyrise Lengthening Mascara. It's around $2.
Can I chime in and say that the new Maybelline Fiber Extensions Lengthening Mascara is terrible and not to buy that one?
Yes. Yes, you absolutely might. Yeah, because I'm seeing that advertised all over there. Isn't that the illegal length, Dana?
Yes, the illegal lengths, and the concept behind it. It has these fibers that are supposed to attach to the end of your lashes. The problem is that fibers don't know where they're supposed to attach or which direction they're supposed to attach, and so you get fibers all over the place, and it's a mess.
Oh, you can check. Yeah, we have our review for that coming up if it hasn't been posted already. I think it's been posted on Beautypedia. But let's make sure that we send Wendy a free bottle of the Paula's Choice Gentle Touch Makeup Remover so we can be sure that she's using a gentle, fragrance-free product to remove the mascara.
Okay.
And let's send her a Great Big Lashes mascara from Paula's Choice in black.
All right.
See what she thinks about that. Wendy, you can give that a try in addition to the other two that I recommended. And let us know how you're doing. You can check in with us via email.
All right, so moving on. We're getting a little late in the hour. Let's see if we have time for at least one more call. This is Penny from New Hampshire. Penny, you're live on the air. Hey.
Hello?
Hi, Penny.
Hi, how are you, Brian?
Good. What's going on?
Good. Well, my question is about mascara, of course, and I am a redhead and kind of on the fairer end of the redhead scale, and so my lashes are beyond blonde. the point where I just won't leave the house without mascara. So I'm constantly looking for a mascara that covers all of my lashes without thickening them to the point where it just looks unnatural, because it looks so odd on me to have such dark and heavy lashes. I'm like the opposite of everybody else to go out and look for the dark and heavy lashes. I want the more natural look to cover my blonde eyelashes.
Okay.
So
have you experimented with a soft brown mascara?
I haven't done soft brown. I do mostly because they're hard to come by, but I definitely do brown or a black brown when I can find it.
You know, the problem with the black browns is that they tend to err on the side of being more black than brown.
Uh-huh.
When you look at a black brown mascara next to a black mascara, you can definitely see the difference. You can see the brown notes, but they're almost like a coffee brown. So they're still fairly dark, and probably too dark for someone with lashes as light as yours, and then coupled with the expectations and your preferences. So one of the brands, I'm going to double check for you. I'm going to let Desiree chime in with any tips she might have, or if she's seen any lighter mascaras. But I know at one point, the Dior brand, we were kind of trashing on Dior a bit at the beginning of the show, and for the most part, they do have some bad skincare. At least if you, you can check those reviews out on Beautypedia. Dior has beautiful fragrances, and a lot of their makeup is really nice. Their eyeshadows are amazing. They've got some good foundations, and they do have a few really nice mascaras. They're pricey, but at one point they had a couple of really good true brown shades, and then sometimes they will do a bronze shade, which sounds a bit odd, but it's actually really pretty, and I think would be perfect for what you're looking for, because it's kind of a golden brown, so it gives you that emphasis without the heavier look that a black brown, and definitely that a black or a very black, as some mascaras are described, can do.
Okay.
So let me take a quick look on there. And Desiree, have you, or even
I've got some suggestions in the meanwhile.
Okay.
I'm not sure on the color options for this mascara, but L'Oreal's Voluminous Million Lashes Defining Volume Mascara is a really good one for if you just want that defined look like you were talking about earlier. And an interesting tip that I learned in our little Dior makeover that Dana and I experienced at the counter a week ago or so was that the woman put the mascara on both the underside and top side of my lashes. So I'm not talking about the upper and bottom lashes, but literally on those both sides. And normally I kind of shy away from that because I curl my lashes first, then I do my mascara. And if I do mascara over the top of those curled lashes, I feel like it's bringing them back down. It's kind of losing its curl. What she did is she took the brush and she really emphasized a swoop motion as she did it on the top. So instead of kind of just brushing it down, make sure if you're going to top the coat, and I'm thinking you might want to do that since you're really wanting to, cover up those lashes and coat them fully, but not have to clump on a ton of mascara. I think that'd be a good way to do that, and just give it that swoop motion to kind of help the curl of your lash.
I'm thinking another option. I'm thinking of, remember when we were at the makeup show in Chicago, and we were using those really tiny fan brushes to really coat the lash in mascara. And it takes some practice, and you're going to look for a synthetic brush. It's a very small fan brush, maybe a half an inch wide tops. And you'll put the mascara on the brush, and then you'll just kind of paint the lash. And it sounds hard, and it is a bit difficult, but if you get the hang of it, you really can create a striking look and really coat the lash from root to tip.
Yep. And Penny, I found the one I was thinking of from Dior. It's their Dior Show mascara, which is probably among their more popular ones. It is a bit pricey. It's around $25. You can buy it at Sephora. Give it a try. Sephora has a great return policy if you're not happy with it. I have never had a problem taking stuff back to Sephora, even if I lose my receipt. But they have a color called Chestnut $26.98, which they describe as a warm brown, and it's exactly the kind of color that I think would work great for you.
Great.
So
thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate all the tips.
Give that a go, and then if you really love the results from the color, then you can spend some time researching similar colors from other brands. There is a makeup brand out there. We haven't reviewed it. It's called Just for Redheads. You may want to check out what they offer as far as mascaras, but give this Dior one a go first and see what you think of that type of color. Because, like I said, we haven't reviewed Just for Redheads, so I can't vouch for their mascaras in terms of performance, but I'll bet they'll have that type of color.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate your insight on that matter.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling, and we're going to send you some of our Gentle Touch makeup remover free of charge. And Dana, gosh, we've got about 5 minutes left. Does anyone have a really quick question?
Well, we have a quick one, as long as we promise to be quick, and I think it's actually a great question that a lot of people who use mascara have. Claudia from Virginia?
Yes.
You're on the air? Hi, Claudia.
Yeah. Hi. When I put it on, I don't know how to curl my eyelash, what to use to curl it so it'll stick before using the mascara, and then the black mascara gets on my eyeglasses and underneath my eyes. So it's hard. I just kind of I'd like to use it, but I'm afraid.
Okay, Claudia, I am going to give you some advice here that's going to be about a minute long. So the first thing you want to do is mascara shouldn't be coming off on your eyelid area or underneath the eye. If it does, it's either a bad mascara formula or it has to do, especially if this happens later in the day, it likely has to do with the products that you're using around the eyes. If you're putting a heavier or more emollient or slippery moisturizer, whether it's an eye cream or something else, if you're putting that around the eye area, that can definitely be a factor that's causing the issue. And as far as the eyelash curler goes, there's a few different styles that you can try. There's the classic metal with it looks like a pair of tweezers, sort of. It's a handle that has a little clamp. There are heated eyelash curlers that you can buy at places like Sephora and beauty supply stores. And then there's a rod-style eyelash curler. Those are harder to come by, and probably for a good reason, because they are the trickiest to work with. But Desiree, real quick, have you ever tried a heated eyelash curler?
I have not. I've steered away from those just because I get afraid of getting anything warm next to my eyes.
Okay. They typically don't get too hot, but if you find that Claudia, if you find that a regular eyelash curler isn't quite doing it for you, sometimes just like the hair on our head is resistant to styling, you need heat to get it to behave. And I know for a fact that Sephora sells a fairly easy-to-use heated eyelash curler. They're battery-powered. You don't have to plug it in. They just get hot enough to give the lashes that natural bend. So give that a try, Claudia. Check out our recommendations for mascara on Beautypedia. You can go to our best products list. If you know you're not using products around the eye that are causing the mascara to break down, or if you don't have allergies, or your eyes aren't naturally teary, chances are it's just a bad mascara formula. Some of them are just too creamy, and you need to experiment until you find one that works. And don't be afraid to take them back to the store. It isn't your fault. If you're doing everything right, it isn't your fault if a mascara is disappointing you. All right, everyone, that is our show for this week. Thank you so much for listening. But before you hang up, let's talk real quick about the shows we have coming up for April. Next Tuesday, April 3rd, we are going to be talking with renowned New York-based dermatologist Dr. Deborah Jalaman. It is going to be an entire hour devoted to skincare Q&A with a dermatologist. She is a new special guest for our show. We are super excited to have her on. On April 10th, this is going to be a really fun show. We're going to be talking about the worst beauty tips, the worst that we've ever heard, and then what you can do instead. So we're not just going to give you a list of bad tips and say, don't listen to any of this advice. We are going to be following that up with helpful information, everything from skincare to makeup tips, hair care tips. It's going to be a fun show. On April 17th, we are going back to our Twitter and Facebook fans. We are going to be soliciting your skincare and beauty questions. and we will be answering them on the air for the entire hour. So look for those posts on Facebook. Look for those tweets. If you're not following us on Twitter, please do so, and you can join our Facebook page. It's Paula's Choice if you log into Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Join the discussion there, and you are always welcome to come visit us at cosmeticscop.com or paulaschoice.com. Have a great evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Blog Talk Radio, where millions of hosts and listeners gather.